she joins us now. She's a columnist as well, and Coulter.com for her latest. And it's 2021. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Good to talk to you, Buck.
So, Ann, people keep asking me a question that I want to ask you. And I have people all over the country asking it to me. I get emails, I get phone calls, listeners and readers of what I do. And they're saying, what do we do now? And they'll even point to, say, amnesty, which Biden's openly talking about. And they say, and they're asking, what's our next move? I don't have a good answer right now. And so I'm hoping you have a good answer, because it feels right now like the conservatives in this country are about to get steamrolled on at least a few issues.
Yes. There must be something psychologically wrong with me, because no matter how bad things get, I always can see the sunny side. I see the ray of light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, conservatives are going through a grieving process right now. At least we probably won't carry it on and invent crazy Russian conspiracy theories for the next 4 years. We'll probably work through it. And I think that explains the absolute rock bottom support Trump has, which is quite low. I mean, there are different polls right now. Some show his support at like 29%. The greatest poll I saw, and something I've been pushing since immediately after the election. I gave some college speeches. I wrote a couple columns about it. The way forward is Trumpism without Trump. I know people, some Trumpsters, some loved it, have been a little annoyed with me for 4 years, pointing out that he's not keeping any of his promises. I was completely convinced he was going to lose during 2017, 2018, 2019. Then 2020 came along, and whoa, the Democrats, it's the theme of my book, Resistance is Futile. Just when you think Trump is dead, the left overreacts and brings his supporters back. So we had the BLM and Antifa riots in 2020. Combine that with the ridiculous shutdowns in all these blue states, putting businesses out of business, bankrupting small businessmen, and doing nothing about the COVID rate while they get haircuts and go to fancy restaurants, I might add. And those two things, the COVID shutdowns and city after city burning while the media lies to us, I thought, oh my gosh, now he has a chance. So as you know, when we talked about it this summer in August, my position was, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And the American people ended up doing exactly what I wanted to happen. We pretty much had a red wave below the presidential election. I mean, I'm still really happy about the election, very upset about Georgia, which I blame on Trump. But in any event, still, the Democrats were supposed to have this huge blue tsunami, pick up 15 seats in the House. Our polls showed the Democrats were picking up 15 seats. No, instead, Republicans picked up seats. I think we may have picked up 15. There's at least one congressional race in New York State that Democrats are still trying to steal. It's very close. The Republican is now ahead by, I don't know, like 20 votes or something. Tenney is her name. And in the Senate, we lost 2. We were supposed to lose a lot more than that. We were supposed to be losing Texas. We remember John Cornyn, Olympia Snow up in Maine, Ohio. We were supposed to lose many, many Senate seats. And of course,
Lindsey Graham. They threw all that money. They were going after Lindsey Graham. Yeah.
And of course, the 2 we did lose, Arizona and Colorado, but we picked up a seat in Alabama. So the end result is not so bad, though unfortunately we don't have control of the Senate. And what I loved about the election was it shows, well, I mean, who knows if Trump's ideas are popular or not. I think at least half the vote voting for Trump can't stand the man, but are terrified of the Democrats, absolutely terrified of them. They ran the best candidate they could run, in a sense, the most moderate of them, the least woke ID politics, yes, admittedly a dementia patient. So what Republicans need to be looking for is someone who will run on the national populist agenda that Trump ran on and then completely betrayed his supporters on. But this time we got to get somebody who won't betray the people who vote for him.
Speaking of Ann Coulter, best-selling author, AnnCoulter.com for her latest column. And I've spoken to some Democrats actually recently about this. I'm wondering what your take is, because you wrote Adios America, and that came out, and then the president was making many of the same arguments. And I believe there was a time when he even was willing to say, or he let it out, that, and I read Coulter's book, and I love it. He's talking about things like the wall, and these are ideas that you wrote about.
Yes, and anchor babies, everything he betrayed us on.
Okay, right. But the point being that you saw these things coming, and now we have the issue of amnesty. Joe Biden is saying, we're gonna push through amnesty. People are asking me, what can we do to stop it? I've had some Democrats tell me, maybe the Democrats in elected office will get a little bit wishy-washy on this. I don't see that. So then, isn't amnesty going to happen, or am I missing something?
Well, I'm not good at predictions. I certainly hope it won't. And this would be my pitch to the Democrats and to Biden, and genuinely having their best interests in mind. Whom is hurt the most by dumping low-wage workers on the country? Well, number one, African Americans. And if there's any base Joe Biden owes, he owes his nomination to African Americans. I don't know if you just saw this study yesterday. I tweeted it, that the more Hispanic employment goes up, the more black violence goes up. Why? Their jobs are being taken. Their jobs are being taken by people coming from countries where, working for $7 an hour, that's like living like a king. Well, Americans are used to a little higher payment. So for one thing, I just think it would be a huge mistake to a central part of his base. Yes, there are black activists. You will see them on MSNBC. They all have jobs at Princeton. There for amnesty and it's the Rainbow Coalition and the Browns and the Blacks. No. Get down to actual black and brown people. They want jobs. They want jobs that pay well. If there are moderate Republicans working for Biden, if he still has a bone of moderation in him, he should also know that it is not, this is going around the internet. I haven't really, or Twitter. I haven't made a point of disputing this. It is not the case that if he says I'm granting amnesty to the Dreamers, that it will be only 11 million. Read Adios America on the Agricultural Adjustment Act of the Reagan amnesty, and there have been many amnesties in addition to that one since then. For that, you had to prove you had worked on a farm in the U.S. between, the specific 6-month period. They estimated there would be about 100,000 people. We owe them. They picked our crops for us. It ended up being about 1 million. Including cab drivers in New York, including a couple of the terrorists from the 1997 World Trade Center bombing, had never set foot out of New York City. Illegal aliens from, Saudi Arabia or something.
You mean the 93 bombing, right?
Sorry, is that?
Yeah.
Wait, was it 93?
World Trade Center, yeah.
My, how time flies. Thank you. Yes, 93. And even the people who were working on it at the INS said that 90% of those applications for amnesty as an agricultural worker, they determined more than 90%, I believe, were frauds, and yet they were all approved. So once you have an amnesty for any group out there, how are you going to prove when somebody came to America, whether their parents really brought them? No, all you are doing is opening this up to every poor person, or in their countries, a middle-class person, in all of Latin America to pour in and take jobs from our working class.
Well, that's already, and you've seen the caravans are already happening. They're well aware of what a Biden administration means and what's coming. So that's why there's video of this. Anyone can go see it. It's all over the place. Thousands and thousands of people. And their process for getting through Guatemala is very similar for their process for getting into the United States at the U.S.-Mexico border, which is get a whole bunch of people together and just go. Because what do you do?
Yes. Yes, well, I mean, why not just, Trump didn't have to be needlessly antagonistic about it, but if you genuinely care about the working class, as Joe Biden purports to, and he does have his moments of non-senility still, and I'm sure he has a lot of assistants and aides who have been with him for a long time. Look, this is he is the dying remnants of the Democratic Party that gives a crap about the working class. If that means anything, it means, and especially in a year after COVID, you do not dump millions and unlimited to supply. I mean, currently there are at least 40 million illegal aliens in this country. If you grant them all amnesty, and you can say, oh, it's 11 million, or you can say it's 4 million. It's only the dreamers. No, once that program opens up, there is no way of limiting it. You will be crushing the American.
Do you
worker.
think there's a real hope though of Biden not then doing? I mean, because that kind of goes to what these Democrats are telling me, that even the Democrats as a party are not totally necessarily on board for mass amnesty, which I feel like they are. But do you think there's a chance they might get squeamish, skittish?
I'm not good at predicting.
You're going to plead the fifth on this one? Okay, we can let you plead the fifth on this one.
That's a prediction. I can tell you what I think they ought to do and give you the arguments for why they ought to do it, and I think I could convince them. Now, they're going to have pressure from their woke base, but oh my gosh, there's a cornucopia of issues he can be pushing that's going to make the woke base happy. There's so many things. There's so many things they can do. Expand, welfare and minimum wage. Start working on giving out even more under Obamacare. Oh, you got to have the trial for Trump. Let's get to that. Your base demands it. There are so many things he can do other than this. Just put it off a little bit longer.
And before we let you go, who is the future of the Republican Party right now?
Don't know that either. People change, so let's see what happens. There are a couple I'm fan of. I'm a big fan of. Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida. Greg Gianforte, new governor of Montana. Although I've got to put a footnote on that. The main reason I love Gianforte is the night before he won his election to the House of Representatives from the great state of Montana. He punched a Guardian reporter and broke his glasses.
I do recall that. Check out Ann's latest column, everybody. AnnCoulter.com. And Ann, we'll have you back as this new Biden reality unfolds. So thanks for joining.
Good to talk to you, Buck. Bye-bye.